And Petro Bats says, where are you from? I am from the UK. United Kingdom, England, Cambridgeshire, near Cambridge. You may have heard of Cambridge and Oxford. Like the colleges, you know. That's near. Many people call me the poker professor. No one ever calls me that, but yeah. Mechbet says, great question. What is the ideal situation for a donk the flop, big blind versus button? One excellent question. So, donking strategies, from a theory point of view, want to happen when you have range advantage. So, when you're on the button and when you're on the big blind, certain boards, certain flops help the big blind more than the button. So, on the button, for example, we play a lot of our high cuts, all our broadways we open, all our ace-x, etc., etc. The big blind 3-bets a lot of their ace-x, 3-bets some of their suited stuff. But calls a lot of their lower cards. And so if the board is very low, if it's 6-5-3, just jamming. Oh, hoping for a jam. Let's just go for this size. Okay. That quick check back looks pretty airweight to me, but it could be 7x and 9x. Yeah. So in general, you want to donk, let's say boards which are correct to theoretically donk on the button are boards where it's like 6 high, 7 high, 8 high a little bit, and stuff where you have more straights, you have more 2 pairs and stuff like that. So if the board is 7-5-3, you could have 5-3 suited, your opponent can't. You could have 7-5 suited, your opponent might. You have 7-3 suited, your opponent doesn't. You have 6-4 suited, your opponent doesn't. All these things are very, very good for us. We'll just call here. We could check raise it, of course, but I think calling's better. And now we just fold, I guess. Well, if he's going to, I was going to say he probably doesn't jam many turns, but if he's just going to jam turns, I think check raising is better now, but we'll figure it out. We'll jam 6-5. Again, I got, like, we don't make chips in the short term, especially in flash games. You make chips in the long run, if that makes sense. So, there's quite a higher amount of volatility in the outcomes of the decisions you make. And so the idea is you just have to make good decisions and trust in the long run that they're going to be well. So here, for example, we could bet, we could check. I think checking's just going to be better. And I think we just fold this. This was the guy who jammed Queen Jack off. Do you remember? Now that tells us a lot of stuff, and I should have marked that hand because that's very useful information. So I'm actually going to try limp Ace Jack against him because he might be jamming a bit of too many of the mergy hands. But it also means that we have to be very cautious about certain boards. Now what I'm doing is just trying to mark a hand, so that's why you see my mouse going all over the place. So this is be a much better board for him because he hasn't got even any of the bluff ISOs in his range, I would expect. And so, yeah. What it also means is that we can be a lot more aggressive on those high boards when he checks back. So here, for example, he has actually a fem out of 2 and 4x. Probably very little with the king x. We'll just happily call and hit something. Okay, that's great. I'm really happy. I was really happy. Does he really min bet and just jam a king? I mean, if he does, I think he's just going to win. We crush. He could have 4-5, 4-3-2, 3-2-5, 2x of clubs, 4x of clubs, 5x of clubs, 3x of clubs. That's too many combos that we're way ahead of. Or 2-4 off, sure. That's also a hand you could have as well. Okay. Okay. We'll make a little note of that. So, nice hand, sir. He should have gone any 2 cards there probably as well, but... If we see that, that also has some implications in how we're going to play flops, turns, and ribs as well. So... If you're icing a very top heavy range and not icing bluffs, and you donk a lot of stuff on that board, how strong are your checks, ladies and gentlemen, on those sort of boards? And that's going to be a challenge. What is an ideal situation for the let's see, what is better, donk or check raise a load board? Big blinds button. That really depends on your opponent. So and depends on your hand as well. So let's say your opponent's very high C better. Check raising bluffs is probably pretty good on those sort of boards. Sometimes. That's a snap check, so we're just going to go for a bet here. We might have showdown, weirdly enough, with a jack here. Like, what, does he snap check a hand? I don't think he folds a queen. I don't think it was a king. He could have a hand like just like 9-8 with a spade. I think we just check this. Okay. So if the guys are low, if you have value and the guys are low C better, like he doesn't C bet very much, then donking obviously gets a bit more favourable. So, yeah. Not thrilled about this, but I think with 5 big blinds, we just got to call off. Yeah. Okay. Petrobat says, how old are you? He wants to know where I'm from. He'd also like to know my mother's maiden name. And the street which I grew up on. And also the name of my first pet. But I'll send them all to him in an email. But I'm in my 30s, both. Because I'm only just in my 30s, but both in our 30s, apparently, is the fact. So, you do the maths. I'll just do it for you. I see this all in bet from 2pair so often it makes my skin crawl. It is very tough, isn't it? Like, it's pretty grim. Now, this guy, we have obviously some ideas in terms of his 2pair donk, so we don't want to check back much at all on flops against him. But okay. Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows more than us. It's possible. I do not rule out the possibility that Pasha could be an uber genius. We may be way out of our depths here, ladies and gentlemen. It's possible. Bit of a tank jam. I guess we'll call Queen 7 for 4 bigs. 4.4. Yeah. Alright, we'll just win. That'll do nice. Petrobas says, poker is your work? If yes, how do you think? What poker it is your destiny? Poker is my work. Yeah. Well, playing and coaching and... that's it. Poker. Shout out the party agent. He's throwing dollars my way. What do I want to say? Narok Prietin Narok or something. Stereo Potato. Thank you very much for the follow. We appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Gonna go for a min raise King 9 here. Oh, he's throwing tissues now. Okay, best drag. It's another one for you, mate. Well, I know that's the only reason he watches, but yeah. There's the dollar signs, huh? We've made a friend, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We made an actual friend. And he's a party animal, I'd say. Party agent. He knows where the parties are. You ever hit in Romania? You look him up. He'll show you a good time. That's unfortunate. He went for the gamble. Just live the party life. You gotta get your, he's got two fifths of a straight flush there. Can't fold those. Not when you're the party agent. You do a disservice to your name. I mean, yeah. So yeah, it's my work. It's been my work for a long time. Like 11 years. I really enjoy it, Petro, and yeah, pretty happy. So, what poker it is your destiny? I don't know exactly what that means, but no, I'm very happy playing. So yeah, long may that continue while I still can. Maybe. That's the hope, but we'll see. I did win the leaderboard, well, a couple of days ago, so trying to win it again. That's the goal. We'll see how we do. This guy's jamming kind of wide, but like 7-8 suited, ace-2 does still kind of shitty against that kind of range, so. Tom, do you have students who are better spin players than you now? Yeah, probably, I would say. It depends how you want to, let's say, there's lots of ways we can rank skill in poker. Kind of sucks because he's going to jam a lot. I think I might call here. I think this is... okay, now we can fold. I think I would have called against him, though. Let's see if I would have been right. Maybe. I was flipping, so it's actually quite unlucky. But certainly students make a lot more EV than me, monthly and yearly, yeah. But, I mean, my chip fee is still higher, so... But there's honestly, I mean, it's not... Everyone also has their strengths, so, I mean, there's tons of guys who have way better GTO knowledge than me. There's tons of guys who have way better individual strengths, like playing the button or playing the small blind or heads up or whatever. And so there's lots of guys that like are playing quite low stakes, so are better than me in certain aspects of poker. It's not just in a single yes to no ratio, if that makes sense. But yeah. Average Gamer, have you ever jet play on a spin, or what has been your biggest multi in a cash bin? Thank you, PokerPlayer6, for dropping the multi command. I hope you can see that well, Mr. Average Gambler. We're going to have a gamble here with 57% equity, 61% equity. That's a lot lower now, isn't it? Fair enough. What do I want to say on top of Dove? Something else on top of Dove, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, this guy was very straightforward with his value. I don't know if they'll be so straightforward with his bluffs. Let's give him an option. Again, lovely spot to check raise this. He checks back. He has got some Jack X. I think a bet makes sense here, though. We could check call as well. But again, I don't know if he's bluffing enough. That's the problem. I think I'd rather just sort of bet half pot here. I have him fold just hands that, like, have decent equity against us. I'm not really trying to target a better hand. He might fold a 2 if he ever had to turn up with 2 there. It's unlikely, though. But I think betting just makes our life a bit easier. Now, we are vulnerable, let's say, to delay bluffs. That's a very specific line to try and exploit us in that situation, though. So, jam the king queen. Mechbet says, I'm here for the legendary Cog Dis emote. Mechbet, you are in luck, my friend. Which emote should I sub for? Now, I thought it was level 1, but Bestreg Pasha King is from Lithuania, yeah. Vex Sekmez Drauges, our Lithuanian friend. Alright, we'll try a limp. If he wants to jam a hand like King, Queen, Jack again. We'll start with a bet. This was the guy who normally wouldn't bet here, but this was the guy who donked 2 pair. De donde eres? Alright. So, still quite a lot that's inelastically calling here. If he's got a hand like 8-6, 8-9, 7-6, 7-9, 7-Jack, 8-Jack, 10x, they're never folding, so I think I like a bigger sizing. If he's got a hand like 8-3 off, let's say, not that helpful. I'm on holy days. Thank you for the follow. I'm on holidays. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a nice holiday. Because I'm on vacation every single day because I love my job. That's not the song, but you know the song like it, right? That's the one. Play it. Play that. That's my dedication to you. Suited ace 4. Knock on the door. Offsuit king 2. Not looking to play you. Folding, please. Yes, please. Fold. Thank you. Herox says, what is better about playing flush than normal ones? I think it's hard to have an edge. The edge is smaller per game. The good things are much easier to hit, make 50 games in a day and play a leaderboard, especially if you're trying to one table for Twitch. I can't 50 table. I've tried before and like, so I can play about 15 games or 16 games an hour on flash. But if I'm playing normal, it's going to be like, I mean, I don't even like a lot longer. I guess we could call this. So that's obviously a thing. So leaderboard's great. And also the Owlie's actually probably arguably better for me so far. So that's something that's helpful. Which we're pleased about, of course. MZKS Crobbery has joined us. Welcome, welcome. Povidzenia to both.